separate circuit. So those you can't test, but you could test from ground to ground. So we got wiring issues with this Jeep. Similar fashion to the way a crankshaft position sensor or a camshaft position sensor, or what might be called the pickup coil in this case, will make the Jeep not start. It'll do a crank no start. Well, in this case, we replaced the pickup coil and the crankshaft position sensor is good, and we're still getting crank no start. So we went down to the wiring, and this wire, you can hear, if I shake it around, it loses connection every once in a while. And it's just like right there, it's not consistent. So it'll cause crankshaft or crank no start randomly, or it'll be going down the road and it'll just jolt. And it's because this plug right here that's on the pickup coil is bad. And basically we just have to either replace this plug or straight wire from the plug to the sensor. In this case, we're probably going to cut it out, solder in a new plug, because I found one at the pick and pool, and we're going to re-plug up the pickup coil, and it's going to work again. We're dealing with these guys again, which there's the crankshaft. Well, this is the crankshaft, and then there's the camshaft over there. Something I'm noticing is if I go to the 5-volt reference, and right now I have it grounded to the battery over there. I'm trying to just do an ohm test. I'm getting like a subtle 5-volt to ground. And wants to come up with like 240, 225, roughly ohms, somewhere in that ballpark. I'm just trying to figure out if this is normal. I guess I could go to my 99 Cherokee and do the same thing. This is a 98, but 99s and 98s are roughly the same beast. So if I come over here to the camshaft, same thing. Now, a trick I found to quickly test the camshaft and the grounds is they are bonded together. The 5-volt reference is coming from the same place in the computer, and the ground is coming from the same place in the computer for both of those circuits. The only things that are unique are the camshaft position sensors circuit and the crankshaft position sensors circuit are individual and go back to the computer on their own separate circuit. So those you can't test, but you could test from ground to ground here, and if they are linked, then the ground is good going back to there. Well, there's a complete circuit between these two, but then you can go to the pin, I want to say it's A4, which is in this black one right here, and you can probe to one of the two grounds and make sure that the circuit is complete for ground, and then do the same thing for 5-volt reference. There's a, I want to say it's A17 is the 5-volt reference out of the black one right there. And then you can test basically those two circuits to both of those. What's going on with this Jeep right now is the camshaft position sensor is just not, it's making this thing stutter every once in a while, and I can't figure out why, other than changing a sensor. Well, I've already changed the sensor once to a new one, and it's doing the exact same thing, like to the T. It's not even like it got progressively worse or it got better. It's the exact same amount that it stutters. So I'm trying to figure out why it's doing it. And these are just some tips and tricks that I found to confirm the circuits are good so far. So after more probing, we decided it was time to check out the whole loom going over to the computer. And luckily, right early on, we found this little dug out, ripped spot in the loom. And go figure, you pull the loom back. Right there, you can see that little spot that's been nicked. And it was hitting the tail end of the fuel pressure rail, and it was grounding out the signal part of the camshaft or pickup coil signal wire. So We found out by taking the meter and touching it to the wire, a little dead, we figured out that it was making a complete circuit to here, and that goes straight, like I said, to the camshaft position / pickup coil sensor. So that was our problem all along, was that thing was grounding right here. Hopefully this helps. Maybe you guys find a simple solution to your problem, but really a meter will tell you a lot of things if you probe the same circuit on this side to that side, or ultimately you take the signal circuit and probe it back to the computer. You'll find out a lot about the condition of your wires.